Okay, homies. So we talked a whole bunch about like Tekken, about like season 3 and the specific like demons that were contextually found in that season 3 like character pass. Fuck Marduk. That gives me like an idea of like, yo, what could they be like doing for season 4 of Tekken, right? Because you know, it will eventually like get to that point of like Tekken is super like big, super popular. It's like second at the Evo 2026 early bird registration leaderboards. It's one of the biggest like games known to man. It even won like a Game Awards category. So, and we saw like what the season pass 3 would be like, but let's see if we can come up with like, a wish list for ourselves. Who can be added into Tekken 8 season 4? Who would be the most desired picks in Tekken? Who would be the okay picks for Tekken, the least desired, or like the garbage picks, right? Who are they gonna like, you know, toss into the garbage because Bandai Namco, they might pick them and we'll be like, ugh, no. I have like a few like selections that I have like made over here. Let's start with probably like, let's just like go in like in order. Or not in order, or just like randomly like pick. Let's start with like Josie. Like Josie is a really good like character because she is like a Filipina rep. So we've already tried that in Tekken 7. It would be nice to see her back in again for a Philippine. Like that meme. God. She would be kind of like an okay pick, at least like for me. I can understand fans wanting her to be back, especially of a specific like type of demographic, you know? But yeah, she could definitely be like an okay pick for like Filipina queen. Lei Wulong. Why is his head cut out? Oh, that's right. It's not my fault, I promise. Lei Wulong over here. He is a good pick, but he is like a least desired one. I don't know, right? I think it's like a least desired pick. It's the Jackie Chan archetype. He is like the man with like the multiple stances, like mid combo. I can see why if you're like a Tekken GOAT, or sorry, Tekken GOAT, or Tekken OG. I can see if you're like a Tekken OG, Lei Wulong would be like up your alley. But for me, it's like no. Ganryu also like the same thing, like kind of like a least desired like pick. He is desirable, right? There's a reason that he was brought in Tekken 7 as a DLC character, but nobody would pick like Ganryu as their first thought in their heads. Most desired pick, Miguel Dick. Yeah, Miguel Rojo. This is one of like my most desired characters, right? I love like this brawler. I love like his story being like, you know, he's just a Spanish like drunkard, but has like a good heart for his sister. But then one day, Jin's actions in like Tekken 6? Yeah, Tekken 6. Jin fucking bombed Miguel's sister's wedding via like airstrike drops and vowed to swear revenge on Jin and the fucking company that he was affiliated with. Plus, he was also cool as hell. My finger still remembers his button moves and his brawler stance. I love this bitch, right? He is one of the few characters that literally does like a one-hit KO on you. Literally one hit. It's like starts off as like a taunt, like he laughs at you, and then slugs the shit out of you as a one-hit KO. I would love to see like Miguel brought in back, and he is like one of the most desirable characters in Tekken to be added into Tekken 8. Wanna know who's another desirable character? Julia Chang. Everybody loves Julia, especially after Tekken 7. Cute, like nature activist girl with a rich like history, you know, rich like Tekken history, which I did not like know about, but I was introduced to her back in SF Cross T, SF Cross T, and then later, again introduced to her in Tekken 7 as this cute like live streamer. They were geniuses when they gave her like the live stream role to Julia, right? Like, it just makes it more appealing to the growing uptick that a lot of FGC competitors or casuals were going into like streaming, and she was like a good like mirror into that, you know? So that's very interesting. So that's very... Christie's ass is also most desirable. Even though we have like Eddie, and it's like, Khaiza, why do we need to have like another Eddie archetype? Because there's King and Armor King. Like, why is there like 2 wrestlers? Because Tekken like added them. So if you can have 2 wrestler characters, then surely you can have 2 capoeira characters. Christie is also like rich in his Tekken lore history, you know? And Christie's like Julia, cute, cute, hot, you know, like shit like that, right? Definitely like a most desirable pick. Another like pick I would say would be like Kazumi. It would be funny to bring her back, Kazumi and her tiger, but I don't think so. It would be like an okay pick. I don't know if anybody wants Kazumi back, because now we have like Jun Kazama and we have Reina. So Tekken 7 was about Heihachi's plight. Tekken 8 was about Jin's plight. Or like Khazia, Jin and Khazia, both of them. So next game is going to be like Reina's plight, because she has her own devil trigger, as we saw like in the end credit tease. But I would not like pick her as like my first like thought. I'm leaving this here as an okay pick, as like someone from India. I would love to see like, we already have a Middle Eastern character, which is Shaheen. Technically Zafina too, but she's from Egypt. But I would like to see like Indian rep, Bangladeshi rep, Pakistani rep, like any of those like 3 countries. I would love to see them in, but we don't know how they'll look or what they'll look. This is more like, you know, reaching like demographic, right? Like how Harada and Murray, well, I say like Harada because like he was part of that process. Now he's no longer, but the Tekken devs like research like a potential country candidate to make like an original OC based on like a fighting style. Have like a Singham character in there, you know? I made like a Singham OC, a custom character, and that's for like Lars. I was like on that like train for Singham back when I was playing like Tekken Season 1, because I was watching the movies with the boys. Singham goes fucking hardcore. I would scream at the top of my lungs that like, yo, Singham would be in there. I'll be fucking I'm a straight nut. Katarina would be like a solid choice, but she would definitely be like an okay pick. I don't know if my mind goes scream for Katarina. I think like Katarina was like the answer. Well, she was one of the 2 answers for Christy Monteiro. Have like a girl that does like all kicks, and like Lucky Chloe as like an idol. We could also bring in Julia Chang's alter ego, Jace. Have it like be a 3rd wrestler. Let Tekken have like a Armika sort of like situation. Not in like, you know, a censorship issue or things like that. But we're getting like low on wrestlers, and the only 2 wrestlers we know of in Tekken, or 3, are, well, 4 historically. King, Armor King, Marduk, who else? Oh, Ganryu, because, you know, sumo wrestler. We don't have like a girl wrestler, and that would be pretty tight. Like I said, like an Armika sort of situation, you know? We have Zangief, and then there's Armika. Like, not really like into like grab per se, like a Zangief, but our Mika does like, you know, wrestling, other wrestling moves, like throw you to the tightrope and things like that, and call on like a tag team partner or things like that. That would be really awesome. Julia Chang, like alter ego, that would be really sick. But it's also like an okay pick for me because it's like, I don't know much about Julia, or I don't know much about like her alter ego. Same thing with like Wang or Wang Jinrei. I don't know who the fuck this old man is. I'm picking him in like the least desired. Apparently from like I've researched, he's like an old sparring buddy with Heihachi. That's a no-go. Not in the sense of like, you know, lore, but just like old like kung fu master. They could definitely do like something interesting, like make him like a drunken master, because we don't have like sort of like a Jamie level like type of like fighter with drunken fist in Tekken. I don't think so. It would be interesting to see like a new version of Wang. I think he's like dead. What characters like come back though? Raptor would be another like animal. I would pick him as like most desired because outside of like Roger, we only have like 2 animal characters in Tekken, which are the bears, and everybody seems pretty adamant about not having like a bear character in Tekken, or an animal critter in Tekken, right? But Tekken is like fucking hokey. Tekken is like non-serious at most times. Why relegate down to like just serious like humanoid characters? We need to have like some fun in our game. Let's add in like a fucking velociraptor in there with punching gloves. The raptor could be on steroids, you know? Or make the raptor like a mecha raptor like Riptor in Killer Instinct. The one dinosaur though I do not fuck with is like Gon. I think he's like a, what was it, a guest character? But he's like garbage character because it's like Yoda status, like this bitch is too small. This is all of like the Tekken characters I like found, right? That could be like added in and are not like recycled characters, you know? I tried to like look for characters that could be like potentially like new, or in my mind, a certain level of like desirability amongst like Tekken fans that, yo, I want these bitches to like come back. Now we drop into like, well, guest characters, right? Now I have a plenty on this list. Oh, one more, forgot. Ogre, the most desired pick, Ogre. I would like to see Ogre back, the true Ogre, not like another Ogre that Miyarizo inhabits in her body. Now we get down to guest characters. Speaking of bosses, yo, bring back Geese. I want Geese to come back, him and his goddamn cooch. I know people hated him. I know people hated him. People did not know who Geese was, but people hated this bitch because of the fact that like he has long combos, he has max damage, and he has fucking an OTG grab like Marduk does. It doesn't lead to like full combo though, but it's just emotionally damaging enough that like, why is the character picking me up off the ground, you know, in Tekken? Another character would be most desired, or probably least desired, a guest character is Akuma. Like Geese, people did not like Akuma when he came out. He was going to be a guest character. He's one of the guest characters to be in Tekken 7. People did not like a fucking Street Fighter character doing fireballs and jump ins in a Tekken game. The fact that he has like also long combos as well, focus attack and things like that. Akuma's like the least desirable. I can see why Akuma could come back, you know, to like finish what he started in a way. I see was an assassin ordered by Kazumi. Nobody liked this bitch. What people do like though is another guest character, Tifa. Tifa and her legs. People were hoping and expecting that Tifa from Final Fantasy VII would come back in. Different reasons, like she's a Final Fantasy character, she's hot, is a martial arts master, so all of these things like tick in a Tekken fan's brain that like, oh, she's gotta be in the game. But mostly it's like for gooner shit. You get Clive fucking Rossfield. But I understand that people love Tifa to be like in the game, so we gotta bring her ass back. Another character they could like bring in would be Juri. Yeah, if like we're on the topic of like guest characters, right? If Akuma made it in, then they could surely bring in like a Street Fighter character, like let's say Juri, right? Juri would be like a completely cool complement to the psycho girl that is Reina. Both of them are like newcomers. They both have like, I think like grudges against certain individuals. Juri like had a grudge against like Bison, but now she's like chill for some reason. But both of them are like, you know, step on me like type of like characters, and people are weird like that. Chun-Li would also be really good as well. Chun and her thick legs, she's also like a most desired like pick. I would say so, at least, because it's like Chun is such a popular character in Street Fighter. It would baffle me that like a Tekken 8 rendition of Chun not being like in the game would kind of be like the poorest decision, you know? If my I could have like added Mai. Like Mai would have been also cool as well. Chun-Li would also make like a cool candidate. Morgan also there, like she's also a desired like character for the fact that like in Tekken 7 there's a certain character named Eliza. She is like what was it? A sleepy like vampire chick, but she has all the things that like make her like Morgan, and was originally supposed to be like Morgan, but then they changed her to be like an original character. She has like dark wave, foot dives, she has like an uppercut move. Yeah, she was supposedly going to be like Morgan, but you know, I guess like they didn't want to like offend like fans maybe. But Morgan would definitely be like a solid most desired like pick. Another Street Fighter character would be like Ken. Ken would be cool because he's like in Fatal Fury, and you could definitely do like a guest character from a hyper realistic game to sort of like anime game, like, and have him look really solid. Some parts are like but Ken, in the sense that like it would be like a Fatal Fury thing where it would have been like the common like duo, which is Ryu and Chun, but no one wants to see Ryu and Chun, or at least like after Street Fighter 6, Ken soared so much in like popularity in memes for being like a hobo or like a drunken dad that lost all the child custody papers and the divorce and the marriage papers, you know? Like Ken became like so fucking popular because of his redesign and the altercation of like his lore, that it would be really cool to have like him be in a Tekken game doing like Tatsus and Hadokens. It would be the same way as like Akuma, so he would of course be like less desired. I would personally pick him as like okay, but I gotta play like, you know, safety meter and say like, oh, he would not be like a great pick. My personal great pick would be like John Talbane. Morgan can absolutely make it in because she's like the Darkstalkers rep, and everybody loves Morgan since she is Darkstalkers. But I would love to have other Darkstalkers reps other than like Morgan, right? That's like my thinking. He doesn't have like a projectile per se, like a spammable projectile, but he's a kung fu martial artist dog, right? He has beast cannon, he has his like Klim Hazard or launch laser move. I forgot what it's like called. He has like nunchucks. He has like a hittable like insta kill. Not an insta kill. Sorry. He has a hittable like raging demon-ish move. He could definitely like be up there as like not only like an animal character because, you know, fucking werewolf, but also cool like martial arts character. Shit like that. Even though we already have like a nunchuck character like Law, but he doesn't use nunchucks often. He uses kicks a lot. I would love to see like John Talbane come back. That's like a personal thing for me. Personal one for me would be like Rock as well. I've been saying like Rock up in the goddamn like trees, right? Like since Tekken 8 was all about like Jin's moments. Who's to say that like, oh, we can't add Rock because Rock also goes through a journey himself, conquering his like inner demons and whatnot. And it would be a good compliment because like Jin essentially has like Rock's moves. Like when he does like some of his moves, dark angel wings come out of his like shoulder, right? That's totally like a Rock Howard move when he does like hard edge, quarter circle back punches. So it'd be really cool to have like, you know, and also Tekken 7 had like Geese, right, to complement Heihachi Mishima, right? Two old bastards. Tekken 8, the main hero is Jin Kazama. Who's to say that we can't have a compliment for Jin Kazama being like Rock Howard, as both go through the same like journeys or similar journeys, you know? Another good character that everybody wants is Kazama Kiryu. Everybody wanted like, well, we could have added like another image right here, which would have been like a Baki character. Kazama Kiryu is like one where like, you know, casual fans would want a guest character in a Tekken game. A Yakuza character. Even though like some lore stuff would be like in conflict, like Kazama Kiryu does not hit girls, but it's a video game, just like do whatever the fuck you want. If not Kazama Kiryu, or then his like the other popular character in Tekken, Majima. Majima is also like a really cool character. Now the personal characters that I want to be in Tekken the most above all, Kamen Rider characters or Super Sentai characters or like Tokusatsu characters. Either Goju Wolf, Tojima Tanzamburo, from Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, and in the same universe, Yuriko. I would scream to the heavens. I would scream to the heavens if any of these three characters, I will fucking scream to the heavens with tears of joy and fucking yell at my friends that I got something that I wanted. I will be that spiteful bitch. Here's the thing for the reasoning behind this. Toei Tokusatsu, the shows that I watch like Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, things like that, they've had a known track record of showcasing in the background like Tekken footage or Tekken matches. The fact that like Tokusatsu openly shows Tekken footage or Tekken matches in some of their like seasons, right? And it's quite like the opposite like in IRL, that Tekken, they show a lot of Tekken in their shows, but actually Street Fighter is really popular, you know? In Gojuger, right? In Gojuger, the very first episode of Hoeru Goju Wolf literally does like a 10-hit string combo in the very first episode. It got so much notoriety that before he resigned, Katsuhiro Harada was making a quote tweet out of it. To have Harada, a fighting game developer, comment down on a Super Sentai scene, bro, this ain't just like a coincidence anymore. I'm like legit driven to the fact that like, yo, they could add a Super Sentai character. Motherfuckers even create like Super Sentai characters in character custom creations. That's my Tekken season 4, or maybe like eventual season wish list, my desire meter. Some of these characters are more desired than like others. Some are like okay, some are like least desired, but the top category being like, you know, these are the characters that I want. And by the way, Tojima and Yuriko, I would love to see like these characters as like a pack or maybe like individually. I would be happy for like either or of the situations. I'm like in love with the anime of how like cracked it is and how like unhinged it is, you know? They have like moves that can be translated over into like Tekken, man. It would be really sick. But yeah, that's my list for Tekken potential characters to be coming into Tekken 8. I would be extremely happy if this like row gets filled out. these would be like, you know, obvious picks, but it would make a lot of fans happy. But the okay picks are like, yeah, whatever, we can bring them in. Least desired would be cool, you know, but not too strong as like others. Only Gong is like sharing a cell with, you know, someone else. I can't remember, but he's by himself.